Hello, hello. Uh, Long time no see. Haven't done one of these in a while. Was kind of feeling the itch and have some things on my mind. I've been trying to think and process out. I thought I do one of these because I do enjoy doing them, and I just haven't done one in a while. So here we go. I've been thinking a lot lately about the light and dark of an individual, and I was trying to pin that down as to what it is. Um, and what I think is, well, first off, I think everybody has a light and dark side of them, right? I was pretty sure of that. I just wasn't able to nail it down completely. Sorry, it's a little early. Just woke up, still a little off, a little sleepy. Um, but yeah, and after thinking about this, and I think just because I've been thinking about a few different abstract concepts lately, it's just all been scrolling around in my head. So I think the light side of you is that part of you that everybody knows, everybody sees. He's this kind of guy. He's that kind of guy. And I think that the dark side of you is that other part of you that no one sees. That part that sometimes you might catch a glimpse of, but in other people, they usually deny that part of themselves. I did that thing, but I only did it because this person did that, or I did that thing, but that was only a one time thing. I wouldn't normally do something like that. We always come up with ways to either blame others or not accept it. Um, I think that's just it's slow cold in here. I think that's just perhaps human nature. Um, I think that we all, have those different parts of ourselves. And I can see I have somewhat of a fascination with it. Like, I can see an example. Uh, I enjoy that when watching it in uh, film, right? Like, I like Sideways. Sideways is a movie. Um, and it's probably my top five favorite movies. And I can see a lot of it is kind of like the human experience, just going through life, ups and downs, ins and outs. And I can also see it. I like a movie, newer movie came out called American Fiction. And I can see the light and dark in that. And then there's an HBO show called Divorce. I can really see it in that. It's about this couple gets divorced and just going through it and why they got divorced and how the relationship between the people, their parents and they got kids and co-parenting, how that kind of progresses. And and recently, the new show came out, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, um, somewhat based on the Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie movie, but it's kind of like a slightly different take on it. Um, same basic concept, but switching around a little bit. I thought it was really, you could really see it in there. I really enjoyed that series. I would recommend it if anybody wanted to check it out. It's enjoyable. But yeah, just like speaking for myself, right? The light part of myself. Well, first, I definitely see there are two parts of me. That's without a doubt, right? There's the more surface level part, which is more accessible. I think this is what most people know me as. It's the kind of go with the flow, uh, very chill type of guy, you know. Now, what most people don't understand or can't see might be a better way of saying it. Um, Underneath that, there's the inner part of me. I can see that very well. To me, that feels like the truer part of myself, but I also understand like it's not both parts of me are me, but that part of me feels like the core of me. So it's why I kind of think of it as the truer part of me. It is the core. Um, Shit. Oh fuck. Yeah, that hurt. Just got a splinter. Fuck. Wow, did that doing absolutely nothing. Fuck, fuck, fuck. That hurt. Sorry. Try getting a splinter unexpectedly right between your fingernail. Oh shit. Sorry. Anyway. So, where was I? The inner part of me. That part of me is a much deeper part than the surface, which is probably why I consider it surface and deeper level. That part of me is where my true interest lies. Is that part of me feels unmovable. Yeah, I've argued with a couple of people while in that part of me, and I can see the frustration on their faces. It doesn't move very much. Um, it feels very strong. I can't even. It's weird. I don't even know how to really talk about it. It's where my principles and my morals are. It's where my love of art is. It's I don't know, I can't really explain it. Give me an example. If you look at Jay-Z, Tiger Woods, right? Both of these guys living this life, and both of them sort of got caught having affairs, right? Tiger Woods, I know a little less about. I know, I think it was like 13 women or something like that. He was just going to town on. They all look very similar type of woman. Um, kind of trailer trashy. No offense to anyone, but that kind of feel to her. Yeah, I don't know much about the Tiger Woods thing. Just very, he clearly was not the same after that incident. It was very much kind of like a surprise in the dark when it came out. Like nobody saw that shit coming. Jay-Z, who married to Beyonce, arguably one of the most beautiful women on the planet. Um, I think Beyonce is very attractive. I don't know if I put her in my top five, but she's still very attractive. I mean, she wouldn't be far off. Um, great, great, visually appealing. Personality wise, she seems nice. I mean, obviously, I don't know her personally, but you know, I've never really seen her be a bitch to anyone or anything like that. Like, and you know, Jay Z got caught cheating, and it's easy to be like, well, if you look at these two guys, they do a lot of traveling, this, that, whatever, which is true, you know, but I get the feeling that there was um, deeper. It was deeper than that, and I wonder if it's because of, like, you know, perhaps those two guys were denying the darker part of themselves. You know, like why do all of Tiger's um, women that he cheated with have, like, why do they all fall within a certain type? You know, um, like like I said, that kind of trailer parky trash look. If you look at his wife doesn't resemble that at all. Um, his wife's very kind of, I don't want to say clean cut, but very innocent type of girl, like innocent looking girl. I think she was a nanny before they met or something like that. Like, you know, so like they're a bit opposite. You know what I mean? Like and I see that with with certain guys. Like you marry one type of girl, but you cheat with another type of girl. It's very interesting. Like you marry the one, maybe the person that matches your lighter side, but the person you cheat with, that that attraction you feel for them is maybe more related to your darker side. That's what I wonder. Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm just spitballing this, like, but that's what I'm wondering. You know, like Jay Z, the other women, who I'm sure some were probably celebrities, if not all, um, they weren't Beyonce. If you look at it, Jay Z and Beyonce match very well. Both this insane love for music, both at the top of their field. There's just a lot of parts of them that relate to each other. You know, like um, they're very well matched. But I wonder if, like, she just couldn't. If she, if it's, if you have light and dark, maybe those two things are just opposites of each other. They can't really match up. You know what I mean? Like if you like a person, they appeal to one side, they automatically can't really appeal to the other side. I wonder if it works like that. Like I had a dream last night. I had a dream that I was trying to have an affair with this woman who I've always found very attractive. And in the affair, the whole thing was kind of like a setup. Like the woman basically brought my wife in at the end. And I think I had this dream because it was kind of like related to one of the Mr. or Mrs. Smith episodes that I just finished watching the other day. So, dreams like that don't usually happen for me. I think that's what it was. But in the dream, I did kind of apologize to my wife and just accept responsibility because I mean it was me. Like I can't blame that on anything or anybody. It was my decision to go and do that, you know. And it makes me wonder like what that appeal to the dark side of the woman, like what would that look like, you know? Like this woman, even though I've always found her very physically attractive, even if I was going to cheat, I wouldn't cheat with her in real life. I kind of know I kind of know what appeals to my dark side, and it's not necessarily that particular kind of woman. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I want to get into this on camera, but yeah, I see that when Jay-Z got caught with Beyonce, got caught cheating with Beyonce, and of course he's a celebrity and they have to do interviews, stuff like that. I remember watching interviews where they asked him about it, and he accepted it. He was like, "Yeah, I messed up," and just came out and accepted it, and was like, we're trying to work through it. I'm going to do better, change my behavior, and yeah, I think you have to accept that dark side of yourself. Like I think if you just deny it, oh well, I've heard this many times. Well, yeah, I cheated, but I only cheated because the other person, they weren't giving me enough attention, or the other person didn't do this or they didn't do that, and that's why I cheated. And it's like, and it always never felt right to me. Um, if you had issues in your relationship, you could have taken steps to address said issues. You didn't. You chose to go and do something with someone outside of the relationship, which, to me, I kind of feel like you wanted to do that and you just needed perhaps some kind of justification for yourself to go and do that. But really the core thing was you just wanted to do it. So to me, it's like you won't even accept you yourself won't even accept your own darkness. Which I see that happening with a lot of people. I myself am trying to accept that, um, like, I am who I am. To me, it makes no sense to deny that other part of myself. But as much as it doesn't make sense to me, I know several people who will say, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to see that part of myself. In all honesty, no judgment, I don't really understand that train of thought, because it's all me. I can't harm me. It's all me. And why would I run from myself? But I mean, I get it instinctually. I get it, like, but it's just, I don't know. I think I've grown to a level where I'm just not interested in doing that anymore. I wanna fully know who I am. I wanna fully reach my potential, and I'm not interested in trying to hide from myself, let alone hide from anybody else. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's just a matter of getting to that point. I think anybody can get to that point. But I will say, like, you do have to sit in a painful space before you can get to that point. Yeah. You have to get comfortable with sitting in your own darkness and not denying yourself, and I think that takes a certain amount of inner strength, and that's just more of a thing like lifting weights. You have to slowly build yourself up to that point over time. I'm stronger now, but I certainly wasn't like this before I had to get up to this point. So yeah. Speaking of light and dark, lately I've been thinking about I was reading something on some psychologist, I'm forgetting his name, but he talks about sort of like evolving as a person in different stages in life. And he was like, it's going to become a stage where one of the later stages, you have to choose either intimacy or isolation. That's what it is. And personally, I prefer intimacy. That being able to share yourself with someone, being able to share all of yourself with someone is, man, that's a certain, I don't know, it's difficult to express. Like, intimacy, how a person might define intimacy is different from person to person, and I can't really tell you. It's just sort of something you have to get to, But if you ever had a great level of intimacy, and I don't mean intimacy just as in like a sexual fashion. I mean like just in that closeness of being able to talk to someone and like be 100% who you are and not have to fear them judging you or looking at you funny or something like that. You just are. You can be completely naked emotionally with this person, it's not a sexual thing or anything like that. It's I don't know. I can't really. If you have a best friend, right? You guys have been best friends for so long. You know, you guys have years of history. You would kind of be in the ballpark of what I'm talking about. Some people have this with their mates. You would think all people had it, but I don't think that's the case. Um, but yes, to be able to share with yourself, just be who you truly are. I prefer intimacy. I've enjoyed that. There's that freedom to just be who I am is it's priceless. But to be honest, these days I feel like isolation. It feels like my only option. You know, I don't know. I can't help but feel I can't help but feel like certain people in my life have seen this darker part of me grow. This other part of me that they just didn't see. It's not dark per se in the good and evil aspect. You know, it's just that other hidden part of me that they didn't know was there. And when they saw it, and then they saw it grow and develop, I think it just. I, I hate to use this word because you kind of sound like a bitch. But it intimidates some people. I could tell, or at least that's my perception of it. To me, that's what it looks like. It looks like it intimidates people. They see it. They not fully aware what it is, but it looks intimidating to them, and they sometimes will become passive aggressive. Um, they sometimes will try to ignore it, and then when it displays itself, they try to shut it down. Shame. There's some shame. Try to. They try to, and I'm not even. I don't. I don't blame them. In all honesty, I don't. I think. I think some of them are not aware that they're even doing it. It's more of a instinctual reaction. Um, but I am aware that it is a rejection of sorts, and it simply is like, um, So, yeah, it's not something that I experience with everybody in my life, but it's something that I definitely experience with most of my inner circle. Um, and it feels it's not a good feeling, um, because you want to be comfortable, to be free, and from my perspective, it feels like people would be much more comfortable if I was who I used to be, if I was a much perhaps from their perspective a much less threatening person. That's really what I think it is. Like that, you know how when you achieve something or you do something great, you would think like, hey, those are your people. They'll be happy of you. They'll be proud of you. But no, it can make them upset with you. It's like that. It's like your success. They were fine when everything was the way it was, but your success disturbed the hierarchy between the two of you, or I don't know. I don't know how to define it. It changed things clearly, and they don't like it. And like I said, I don't think this is all necessarily on a conscious level. I think it's perhaps just on a more instinctual level, but nevertheless, I can still see it. I can still feel it. And like I said, it's not everyone, but it's my inner circle. Like all these people mean a lot to me. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in my inner circle. Like I don't know. This is just me play processing out loud. I mean, of course, I'm out loud. Who else would I talk to? Who else can I talk to about these things? I mean, there is someone, but unfortunately, I don't get very. I don't get a lot of time to talk to them these days. So perhaps next time I see them, we'll speak on this. But I don't know. That was something I really related to the movie American Fiction. You know, the main character, I really related to him. He he comes back into his family's life, and then he is slowly discovering that his relationship from his perspective is not what his family members perceived it to be. Like, you know, he didn't really want to go back and see his family, but he had to, kind of thing. And he's like, yeah, me and my family won't get along. You know, brothers and siblings, you know, that's how it goes, whatever. And then you see in the movie, as he starts talking to his siblings, their perspective is, no, it's not that we don't get along. You push yourself away from us. It's always been like that, since we were kids, and you know, you're very judgmental and you're very harsh, this, that, whatever. and I'm watching because this is all kind of news to the main character. You know, he's kind of like, no, I wasn't like that, and they're like, no, it was very much like that, and you can see just like that was not his perception of things, you know, and I heavily relate to that. Dealing with my own family, they're my family. I love them, but at the same time, there is distance there, and it I do wonder, like, I need to mend those relationships. And yeah, I might feel like there's fault in those relationships, but I also can't ignore, I do isolate. That is something I do. I am very comfortable being in monk mode. It is, in all honesty, probably my preferred preference. But that's not healthy. We are, as humans, we are social animals. We need people. We need interactions. We need relationships. So it probably would be a good idea for me to try to reach out. I got one. Yeah, I got family members I need to speak to. I've been meaning to call. You know how it is. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call this person. I've been thinking about them. I've been meaning to call them, and yet I have not called them. And you know, that's all me. I can't. What am I gonna do? Like, I can't blame them on that. I've been meaning to call them. I haven't called them. I might call them, and they might give me shit. And can I be mad about that? I mean, they feel whatever their feelings are. That's their feelings. They have a right to feel like that. I mean, I don't know, but I'm gonna call. You know what? All right, I'm gonna call tomorrow. So, assuming that I make another video soon, which hopefully I will, because I kind of enjoyed this, getting back into this again. I will have called at least one of my relatives, and just to say hi. You know, we'll see how it goes from there, but just to try to reestablish some connection. I do miss them. Although we all know that moment where you haven't seen a relative for a while, and then like within 5 minutes of seeing them, you're like, oh, this is why I was avoiding you. You know, it all comes back, but I do miss them. My wife told me the other day, she said I was weird because I don't really talk with my family. I don't really talk with my family very often. But again, it's not a hateful thing or anything. I do have a tendency to isolate. So I'm gonna try not to do that, you know. I do like being in my own world, being in monk mode, doing isolation and Even though I feel like, in a way, there's just not much choice. I would most definitely like that level of intimacy. I would most definitely like to totally be who I am with other people. And just be who I am, and if they accept it, then they accept it. And if they don't, then they don't. There's really nothing I can do. That's not within my control, whether they accept it or not, but I am who I am. To know me is to love me, and to hate me. That's the duality. That's the light and dark, I guess. I don't know. I'm rambling, to be honest. I'm rambling. This is a very blast last section. A blast last way of doing things. I'm talking. I'm not structuring and communicating my points well. And they say personality type isn't real. Okay. Yeah. Thank you all. If anybody actually watched this, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna make this public. I might just make it private. I don't know. I just wanted to express and process out some of the things I've been going on in my head lately. If anything, well, peace out. Enjoy life. Accept who you really are. Take it easy.